It's a great day to be a Nittany Lion. Penn State stormed to a fourth straight national title in Philadelphia last weekend. Two Nittany Lions also won individual titles, and you see the other award winners from the Big Ten on your screen as well. Sophomore Mitchell Mesenbrink was crowned at 165, and grad student Carter Starocci won the hardware at 184. That's his fifth straight national title. Both of those wrestlers are also Hodge Trophy finalists. Penn State continues to set the bar in college wrestling, that's for sure. This marks the program's 12th natty in the last 15 seasons. That's right, folks, all coming under head coach Cael Sanderson. Also, shout out to Shane Sparks for great coverage of this program and Big Ten wrestling all season long, the best in the country. Now we say hello to Mitchell Mesenbrink, the national champion, for today's big interview. Mitchell, congratulations, first of all, a national champ both individually and as a team. Has it sunk in yet? What have the last couple of days been like?
Yeah, thank you. Unfortunately, it hasn't really sunk in, or I haven't really even been able to think about it, because we get back and then it's just right on to focusing on school and getting all the, we miss a whole week. So we gotta, get a bunch of assignments that we didn't get in. And then there's this week assignments. So we're kind of focusing on that.
Oh, man, school getting in the way? All right, well, hopefully you can celebrate after the semester comes to an end. Well, you had a historic season individually, 27-0. You beat Iowa's Michael Caliendo 8-2 for the national title, and you had some great battles with him before. What was your game plan as he stepped on the mat for that match?
Yeah, I mean, we've wrestled, I think, almost like 6 times or something like that. So that obviously he's probably going to change his game plan going into each one. And I think the biggest thing and the biggest thing that our coaches preach here and tell us is, this is kind of just what we do, wrestle it and conquer whatever the challenge is in front of me.
In reading a ton of articles about you, your mindset is so impressive, and I guess that's probably why you just won a national championship. But when we're talking about historic performances, your teammate Carter Starocci makes history with his 5th straight national title. What have you learned from just watching the way he approaches things?
Yeah, I think it's been great to be able to have him as kind of like a thunder twin and just go and bring it, last year it was cool to be back to back in weight. So it was 65 and he would go 74. It's a little bit different this year, but having a gamer, I mean, I feel like all the guys in the lineup are gamers. But to have, we kind of joke about it, him, Levi, me, there's something a little crazy about us, and we go out there and it's not just I want to win by a few points. I want to dominate, I want to smash everybody, and having Carter there thinking that exact same way, I don't think it's very it's not a coincidence that we're both put up for a Hodge Trophy this week.
I like the sense of awareness. You addressed the fact that maybe you're all a little crazy, but you did just touch on the dominance in this lineup from top to bottom. And Penn State as a whole, there are few teams in any sport that are as good as Penn State in wrestling. What is so special about this program?
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously there's so many things that you could pinpoint. But I think the easiest thing to say is the great men and women that Coach Cael, Coach Casey, and Coach Cody have continued to surround the program with, and not only around other people, but also themselves, right? Just them being them, as great, fearless leaders as they are. It's awesome to have them in there every single day. Like, I enjoy going up to wrestling offices and just talking to them for hours. They're great men. And then also the great men and women too that, are at the front desk or our managers or anybody, right? They're always very particular and very conscientious of who they're putting in to these positions to be able to help all of us be the best men and best wrestlers that we can be.
You make a great point. It truly takes a village to put together the type of domination that Penn State has on the mat. You also just brought up your head coach, Cael Sanderson, dominant, 12 national titles in the last 15 seasons. Now, you didn't go to Penn State at first to start out your collegiate career. How did you develop that relationship with Coach Sanderson, and how did it get to the point where it's at now?
Yeah, I think it speaks to more the type of people that we are. And just the ability that we have to make relationships with people. I feel like we're both people. So if that makes sense,
It does. It makes sense. You're people.
Yeah, and it was it's funny. I talk about this a lot with my buddies. Like my mom, when I got in the transfer portal, moms are usually always right. And she said, I think if it's not Penn State, I don't know if you're always going to have that certainty. You might regret. And so I think when I got here, I've always wanted to come here ever since I can remember wrestling, right? So I always wanted to come here, and watching these coaching staff and these coaches do what they do day in and day out, when they're on the biggest stages, that was like no brainer, right? Statistically, it was a no brainer to come here. And then, like I was saying, being a people person, talking to Coach Kale, it's so simple to be not only an athlete for him, but be his buddy, be his friend. I think it's awesome hearing him say that that's the first thing that comes in our relationship, is being friends. And then, being a coach and being, a mentor and a leader.
No, saying people made total sense to me. I'm more of a dog person myself, but I'm forced to interact with people. Totally get where you're coming from on that. I also love that you said you got to trust mom's intuition. Your dad also has been very influential in your life. He was a wrestler at Drake. He runs a wrestling gym. How did he influence your love for the sport?
It's exactly that. He influenced my love for the sport. That's what he's done for my career, is helped me love it. There was no, I remember sitting down when there was a little time I was going through a rough patch for my wrestling, and I didn't know if I wanted to do it anymore. And my mom and dad were able to ignite that fire again. Love, right? The love of the sport. It didn't matter if it was winning or losing. And it's funny, I was winning at the time, but I still didn't love it. And it was interesting how well they were as a team, my mom and dad, to effectively, not make me feel like they were making me do it, but like, hey, let's enjoy this. Let's love this experience. This is something that can be very beneficial, not only to, to winning or whatever, but to your life, not just the next however many years you're going to do it. And so my dad and my mom, just both, have been so like a tag team, helping me so much with any goal that I've ever sought after. It's crazy sitting in here and looking at all this Penn State stuff and like, this is exactly what I wanted, and they knew that, and they helped me so much to get to this right now.
Oh, I love that. It's giving me chills. You led the country in tech falls this season, so clearly you have a very aggressive approach. Where did you get that mindset from? Is that something also you drew from mom and dad?
Yeah. And it was funny this year. I want to be able to, one day when I have children, I want to be able to know how they were so effective at implementing that into their children. And because even my siblings too, like when they step out on whatever they're doing, if it's wrestling, or my sisters play field hockey, when they go out there, they bring it, and they try to score, and they try to win. With the latter not being the most important thing. I think that is why I'm able to go out there and bring it, is because winning isn't the end all be all, and neither is losing, right? I can put those two outcomes aside and really focus on my performance. And there was only one time that my dad has ever been kind of upset with the way I wrestled, and it was because I gave up. And he was like, hey, I don't care if you lose. I don't care at all. I just care if you bring it, right? If you go out there and you work as hard as you can, and you put your full effort every single time. And has stuck with me ever since. That I was a little younger, I was maybe 7th grade or 6th grade, and it was just a no-brainer. It was like, okay, if my parents are telling me I don't even have to win, I have to go out there and just pull my best foot forward, my best effort forward. And maybe that effort isn't 100% every single day, but them knowing that I'm trying my best, I was like, okay, I'm good. Like, I can sleep at night. And as a young kid, I was pleasing my parents by just giving my best effort. And I can do that today too with these great coaches.
Real quickly, before we let you go, who wins in Fortnite, you or Coach Sanderson?
Oh man, both Coach Cody and Coach Kale are good at it. So they both are going to beat me at Fortnite.
So you haven't played yet, but that's on the table, correct?
I play, but it's really, really rough playing.
Well, as competitive as you all are, please send us some video when this takes place. We'll run it here on the Big Ten Network. Well, congratulations again. Really appreciate the time. Try to enjoy it. Let it soak in a little bit.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys.